Welcome to Neeks Sports. This Saturday, 9th of April, massive fight. Super heavyweight IBF world title. Charles Martin against Anthony Joshua. Ramon, what's your take on it? Who's going to come out triumphant?
Big fight, very different from the last fight that Joshua had. I'm a Joshua fan. I love what he's doing at the moment for British boxing, so I'm going to go for Joshua. I watched the gloves are off, and it's very different. Both men wanted to look like they wanted to fight. They just wanted to fight each other.
And there was a aura of respect between them, not what Dylan White and him was like a proper rivalry.
Yeah, exactly.
No one really thinking about the boxing.
Yeah.
Just two men slugging out in the ring.
Well, Joshua knows. He's probably, Charles Martin's just above him in the rankings at the moment, so he knows it's going to be a step up from Dylan White. He knows it's probably going to be the hardest fight of his career so far, and so he's fighting the champ. He's now got a title to face. 16 fights now. Now we're going to do against a champion. He knows that he's got to respect who he's fighting, and it's going to be a big fight. I tell you that.
Natural. Tyson Fury, obviously, he's the world heavyweight holder of 2 belts, and he's just completely disregarded Joshua. Said he got no feet, can't move, he can't jab, he can't take a punch. Basically, on what happened with Dylan White. So basically, he's not really a heavyweight fighter. Is that what you're thinking, or is he a bit over the top there?
Look,
Is that a bit Tyson Fury?
Fury is an over the top guy. Whatever he says, he's gonna make it sound over the top. That's what he does. My thing is, if you sometimes listen to what he's saying and you take away all the excitement, there is some gems of wisdom that are in there. I do believe that Joshua has a lot to learn as a boxer. He's got a lot to learn, and even though he won the fight against Dillian White, it exposed a lot. So now the aura that was around him again with that fight doesn't exist anymore. Now they're saying, well, he really has to step up. He really has to do this. And what Fury said was that, was it the second round or the third round when Dillian White caught him?
It was the second one he caught him.
He caught him when he wobbled,
yeah.
and it's like
both rounds he was still a bit.
Yeah. But that second round, because look at the amount of punches Dillian White took, and the first punch that got through to Joshua, he wobbled, and you could see he was shaken up by it. And I'm saying to myself, well, another fighter now, I never see Dillian White saying that his shoulder went, but another fighter would have continued, and we don't know where Joshua would have ended up on that fight. So I don't see. I think Martin's a lot more polished. I think he's a lot more focused.
He's undefeated as well, isn't he?
So this is going to be a hard task, and he's never. I mean, Dillian White, but he's never fought anybody on 2 fights in a row. Whereas Martin, to be a world title, he's fought some people. So I think it's going to be a hard task.
I think it is going to be a hard one, and as you said, it's a step up. And obviously, there's
a major step up.
There's David Hayes calling him out. Deontay Wilder, he said that he wants Charles Martin to win, being an American, but he doesn't really mind. He wants to fight Joshua at one point. Do you think we're going to see that a world title fight between the likes of Joshua and Hayes, Joshua and Wilder, Joshua and Fury, or might this be a step that Joshua ain't going to be able to take?
I think this match is a big, it shows a lot, what happens in this match. If Joshua wins this, then he's putting himself there. He's putting himself in the top 5, 6 in the world now. He's saying, I'm in the heavyweight category of you lot. I mean, he obviously hasn't fought none of them, but he's there. He may be the bottom of the list, but he's in there. And like I said, Charles Martin's a big step up, so he's got to prove himself for that. If he does win, I think it puts himself in the chance to fight someone like Deontay Wilder. I think that's a good next step for him. Big and even bigger next step for him, but he's probably the next one up. Looking at, I think maybe Deontay before Fury, because Fury's sitting at the top of the table right now. He's doing whatever he wants to do. So, but obviously he probably wants to fight Fury before Fury would say that he's coming down. He probably wants to hit Fury when he's good.
Peak, so to speak.
Exactly. But Joshua, I think he's very level-headed from his interviews and stuff. He seems like he knows what he's doing. He's managing around. I'm not giving him the biggest fights yet. They're taking him step by step, and I think that's what he needs.
Natural. You mentioned about Dillian White being able to take a lot of punches, and boxing's been in the news recently for all the wrong reasons, in terms of Blackwell being in a coma from basically taking a lot of punches from Chris Eubank Jr. And there's calls about whether boxing has a future. Should it just be scrapped because it's just two guys slugging out, taking a lot of punches, and the referee doesn't really call it until the man's down. Whereas in something like UFC, which is growing and surpassing boxing, in terms of how fast it's growing, the referee gets in there much quicker to stop it. Do you think boxing has a future, or do you think there needs to be a few rule changes about the amount of punches boxers are taking and when the referee should stop the fight.
You know what? I'm an old school boxing fan, innit? And boxing is boxing. There are so many jobs in this world that are dangerous jobs that you can like literally die on the job. And I think people make those decisions with that understanding. I mean, they've said that he's woken up now, and he's talking and that. And I don't think even they're saying his career's over, but I think he's probably more upset than anything else that he can't box again.
As opposed to what happened.
So I think that you go into boxing with that understanding. Maybe you can say, well, they should wear helmets or some protective gear or something like that. But boxing is boxing, and I don't think because it's like the Formula One or those kind of people die in those races, and you don't say, well, some people are saying, well, we should stop Formula One, but you make the decision with that understanding. So yeah, I don't think we should see the end of boxing. Maybe they need to revise some of the health and safety, but boxing is boxing. I'm a boxing fan.
Well, let us know what you think. Obviously, it's sad news what happened to Blackwell. Also, we hope that he recovers from it, not in terms of his career, but just in terms of him as a person. But it's this weekend. It's the big fight. Neeks Sports will be covering it. Let us know what you think. Is AJ gonna win this IBF world title? Is he gonna be able to face the likes of Hay, Fury, and Wilder? Let us know. Comment below. We'll see you next time.